Star Atlas is a place where dreams come true. Welcome to Star Atlas. Let it be so, Star Atlas. Let it be so.
Let's start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, starting size.
CEO, the smartest one, born in 1981, Anatoly Yakovenko. CEO, the coolest one, born in 1981, Anatoly Yakovenko. Come on, Toly, you can do it. Pave the way, put your brains into it. Tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now. Of history's time is starting, liberating us from sharding. Fastest speeds, lowest fees. Come on, Toly, get 'em!
Perhaps the greatest intersection of these spaces of outward expansion and inward expansion is embodied by Star Atlas. Star Atlas is a new metaverse. It's going to open up the final frontier, the intergalactic frontier. Star Atlas is an ontological awakening. It's going to allow us to stargate beyond the bounds of the imagination, to literally become starlight. This metaverse will augment our minds and augment our world and finally allow us to show ourselves to ourselves.
All right.
Is Star
Hello,
Atlas.
everybody. Okay. Please confirm if you can hear me correctly in the Town Hall channel. As always, we need to check. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. So, welcome, everyone.
We love hearing your beautiful voice, Santi.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I know you do. I know you do. So, welcome, everybody, to the Star Atlas Town Hall number 17. We have a pretty good agenda for this one. And let's start for the basic. First, how are you, Michael? How are you, Pablo? How are you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. A lot of progress. Things are going well. You know, been busy, but I feel like we're really getting over the kind of the final hurdles here to delivering the features that everybody's looking for. So, yeah, man.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, for everyone who is new here, I know we have a lot of new people. You may wonder, what is the Star Atlas Town Hall? The Star Atlas Town Hall is the place where you can ask questions live to Michael and the team. And also we provide you with the latest updates on how the Star Atlas development and its metaverse is going. So yeah, without further ado, let's start, Michael. What do you think if you tell us? Let's start with an easy question for you. For newcomers, again, I say we have a lot of new people here in the audience. Can you tell us what is Star Atlas, or is it a very difficult question for you?
You know, I don't think I've answered this one before. So let me formulate my thoughts. But Yeah, for anyone that is new, I mean, obviously you're here in the Discord, so you know a little bit about us, but what we're developing out is a virtual gaming metaverse as a massively multiplayer online game. We're developing this concept out in Unreal Engine, and so this will deliver to the player base, the user base, hyper-realistic cinematic quality graphics with the intention to deliver an alternative reality of sorts to people, to the human population across the globe over time. And part of, outside of creating this very exciting, entertaining gameplay concept, naturally, given our expertise and subject matter expertise across the crypto ecosystem, we are integrating a number of blockchain components into the game product itself. And so that includes things like true asset ownership, only available through NFT ownership of assets within the game, as well as crypto native assets, Atlas and Polis. I'll let you guys read the economic paper if you're looking for additional information surrounding the utility and functionality of those two tokens. And then going into the future, a number of DeFi integrations that enable our player base to really compound not only their earnings within the game, but maximizing the earnings potential through the commitment of time spent within the universe. And so that would include things like participation in lending pools, participation in liquidity pools or AMMs, as well as even providing capital to insurance, decentralized insurance protocols. But let me just pause there, Santi. I mean, I could go on and on about this. The metaverse concept itself really becomes it's so much to discuss when we get into the metaverse.
Yeah, it was a really great introduction. I feel like we can, before we move on to the next section, I would like to thank everybody who is here with us today, supporting us every day in the channels, to all our moderators, our server boosters, and every single community member who is helping out there and supporting us. And yeah, let's move to the next section. We have here Milan with us. Milan is from Orca. Milan, how are you today?
Milan, just let me thank you as well for making some time to join us today. Really excited about our relationship with you guys, and yeah, welcome in.
Hey guys, thank you very much for having me. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Very excited to kind of partner with Star Atlas. Love your project since the beginning. Have a bunch of the Rebirth posters, and now have a whole bunch of cool ships, a pilot's license, and pets. So that's been awesome. Yeah, I'm from Orca. I lead business development and integrations. So essentially help projects integrate with Orca, build on top of Orca, and then doing partnerships kind of like this with Star Atlas.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Orca. What is Orca?
For sure. So Orca is a general purpose DEX. It's an AMM that works very similar to Uniswap. You can trade a bunch of different tokens on Solana, and we're expanding that list pretty much daily to more and more tokens. So you can swap through the UI. You can provide liquidity for various token pairs and earn rewards. And those rewards are whether it's trading fees on the platform, Orca emissions, and some new product which we've recently launched called Double Dip Pools, which will also earn you partner projects tokens. And then if you're a developer or a builder, you can also build on top of Orca. So you can build arbitrage bots, you can build different trackers, or you can integrate swaps directly into your app. And for that, we have a TypeScript SDK, which pretty much covers all of the different actions you'd want to do on Orca, but programmatically.
That's great. That's great. And thank you for the overview of what is Orca. And as you may imagine, we have a lot of Atlas and Polis holders here. So I want to ask you the question, like, we announced the partnership some days ago. I think it was yesterday, I can remember correctly. But how can the Star Atlas token holders benefit from this?
Yeah, for sure. So essentially what we did yesterday was we launched Orca's Fall Festival, and that's basically a 2-week period where we increased Orca emissions across all different pools on Orca itself. And a part of that is adding more double dip pools. And double dip pools are essentially pools that you can provide liquidity to, and you'd earn Orca tokens as well as a partner project tokens. So I think the thing that's most interesting for kind of everyone in this chat and for Atlas and Polis holders is that we now have Atlas USDC and Polis USDC pools. So you can head to orca.so and check out the website, try some swaps. I think you'll really like it. I think all for users really talk about kind of the user friendliness and the slick UI and reliability of swapping on Orca. So definitely try swapping, but I think the more important part for all the holders is pretty much to try providing some liquidity in either of those two pools. So you can provide liquidity to those pools, and then you'd go to the double dip tab on our pools tab and stake those LP tokens, and you'll start earning both Orca, Atlas, and Polis, depending on which pool you enter.
Hey, Santi, let me jump in really quickly here, just because these types of protocols are not completely risk-free, right, Milan? So maybe if you don't mind, just at a very high level, describing to people the way that automated market making works, what it actually means when you're contributing to a pool, to earn that yield, and what maybe, again, just high level, what some of the risks associated with participation in these protocols means.
Yeah, for sure. So automated market making, it's a concept that was essentially invented on the blockchain by Uniswap. And it allows pretty much any user to participate as a market maker for a market. Whereas in traditional finance, usually that's pretty much gated to professional market makers and traders who run bots and different algorithms to provide liquidity to a market. And they earn some fees on top of that, some trading fees for themselves. What an automated market maker essentially simplifies is allows anyone who holds a token to provide liquidity to the pool, and they can start earning passive interest and fees and extra emissions on those assets. The primary risk with providing liquidity to any of these pools is that it's called impermanent loss, probably not the best name for it, but essentially what it is that in a pool on Orca or any other AMM, we have token A and token B. So for example, Atlas and USDC. And if the price of one of those tokens increases significantly or decreases significantly versus the other one, when you withdraw from that pool, you'll actually be more weighted towards the other side. And that's kind of the primary risk, that if there's significant volatility, then you will have more of the token that is actually worth less than it was when you deposit it. So ideally, what you would do is usually try depositing when the periods of volatility are not super high, and the token is not moving in one direction all the time. And that way you earn the yields and generally protect your initial capital.
That was an amazing description. Thank you for that. So just as an additional point of clarification, when you're contributing 50% of each of the total token values, right? So, exactly. or rather, it has to be proportional. So you have to put the same dollar value in as the dollar equivalent value of a quote currency or something like Atlas or Polis, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so what you're doing is you're contributing to both sides of the pool. So an Atlas USDC, both Atlas and USDC in equivalent amounts. If there is an Atlas Sol pool, you would be depositing Atlas and Sol in equivalent amounts in USDC value.
Great. And so the issue with directional markets or markets, that are either call it appreciating in value or depreciating in value is that you are providing that liquidity, which means you're either buying those tokens if the market's selling off, or you're selling your tokens as the market is appreciating, right?
Yep, exactly. So in a trending market, especially kind of trending hard in one direction, you're generally going to be holding more of the token over time. That's counter to the trend.
And I completely agree with you. I think the concept of impermanent loss is really a misnomer, because the reality is, if it is an upward trending market, for example, what impermanent loss represents the value that you were able to capture through the market activity against the total maximum market value you would possess if you had held those tokens, right? And so, even in an upward trending market, you are actually selling tokens, but you're technically selling them for less than you could have sold them for had you timed the market perfectly and tried to sell them at the top. That's the way I interpret. Would you suggest otherwise, Milan?
Nope, that's exactly correct. Yeah, and generally that's kind of why, at least in the initial stages of an AMM, usually they provide some liquidity mining incentives to offset that loss, especially if we're in a trending market.
Yeah, that's great. Really excited about the program that we put together with you. I think what's unique about Orca, and we love Radium, by the way. We still have pools that are operating on Radium. They do have dual yield pools as well. But what's really unique about Orca is that you guys do not require that there's an Orca Atlas or Orca Polis pool to be able to earn that dual yield. People are actually able to use USDC and Atlas or Polis and still earn Orca as well as earning Atlas and Polis. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, so I think there's kind of two cool things about Orca. One is definitely the UX and the UI. Like if you use it, I think generally I found it to be kind of the smoothest swap, and that's pretty much our goal, to make it as simple as easy to swap as possible. But yeah, on the other side, essentially what we want to do is try making the experience for traders as simple as possible. And for us, that means kind of having the pairs that they want to trade, which is usually Atlas USDC or Atlas Sol. And that's kind of why we made the decision to use USDC as the base pair, just to make it as simple as possible for all users.
Yeah. So for everyone out there in the audience right now who's, that might be wondering what they can actually utilize their Atlas and Polis for, these are solid options. I mean, the yield right now on the Orca pools are, I want to say, between 190% and 220% APR. There's a, it is kind of important to understand the difference between APR, which is a simple computation of interest over an annual basis, versus what you can accomplish through compounding, or APY. But that's pretty big. I mean, if you're looking for something to use your Atlas and Polis for, these pools are a good option because it just earns you additional Atlas, Polis, and Orca tokens over time that you can then use for things like purchasing ships in the future or contributing to governance. So I think it's a great program. I'm really excited that we were able to launch this, and I think the double dip pools, especially through the Orca format, is pretty rewarding to people that are participating.
Same on our end. We're super excited to have both Atlas and Polis on the platform, and yeah, currently the yields are pretty strong. And actually, the 100 to 200% is just for the Atlas Polis side, and you'll also earn about 50% more in Orca tokens as well. And when you compound it, and we're working on different ways to make it easier for users to kind of compound, whether that's daily or weekly, and you'll kind of see those on the UI over the next few days.
Yeah, man. When auto compounding?
Soon. Yeah, we're working through it soon.
Yeah, common theme in crypto. Everybody wants everything, right? And these are great features that people are requesting, and looking forward to continuing the relationship with you guys. And so just to clarify as well, we have this program running now for 6 months with you. So the opportunity to be involved in these liquidity pools will exist with these specific incentives for at least 6 months, and it's quite likely that we figure something out going into the future as well.
Yep, exactly. Really looking forward to the next 6 months. I think we'll have some cool collaborations coming.
Awesome.
All right.
Milan, really appreciate you joining. Santi, was there anything else that we wanted to chat with Milan about?
Really, I think we covered everything, and thank you, Milan, for the time and for the very detailed answers, and really looking forward to everything that we could drop together.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much as well, and thank you everyone in the audience for taking time to listen to this.
Hey man, we'd love to keep you up on stage if you don't have anything else that's pressing. We do take Q&A once we get through this kind of intro section, so the audience is able to jump up on stage with us and ask questions. So they might have questions for you. If you're available, we'd love to keep you up here, and we'll just kind of keep things moving forward.
Sure, I'd love to come hang out with my first Star Atlas town hall. So I'll put myself on mute and listen in.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, so let's move to the next section. Michael, what do you think? How are you feeling?
Yeah, sure. I think I really want to dedicate a lot of today just to Q&A. I think there's been a number of questions out there in the community that have been difficult to address because of the amount of growth that we've experienced in a very short period of time. And so, we're certainly working across all of those, but just some housekeeping items, right?
Yeah, let's do, if you're okay, let's do like a quick overview about the past 2 weeks and what we launched. For example, the Firmamental collection, and also the Radium skin that the airdrops should be happening really soon.
Yeah, those were both really cool. We thought really cool programs that we executed on. You know, Pablo actually was pivotal in the development of the Firmamental program, and that was, you know, in conjunction with Fabricant. And the concept there is that, you know, kind of referring back to my initial comments around how deep the metaverse goes, we think that the metaverse is going to be a place for socializing and human interaction and experiences that live outside of our core gameplay mechanics that we're developing out. You know, so outside of exploring space and capturing lands and dominating regions politically, it'll just be a place where people can collectively socialize with one another. And so, Pablo, if you're there, would love to hear a little bit about your thoughts on the partnership with Fabricant and what we delivered through Firmamental.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are on the planet. You know, one of the most amazing verticals that are expanding our digital lives is the expression of self-identity. And one of the ways that we can express ourselves is through fashion, you know, and the things that we wear. In the physical and the digital. And so we've been working in the past with the Fabricant on collaborations around the Ooster poster. And we had a great experience walking through the whole process of getting to the end product for Ooster. So, you know, through conversations and really jiving and vibing with the Fabricant's team that's based out of Amsterdam and some other countries in Europe, you know, we've been able to collaborate on this drop. And so, you know, a lot of our community has been asking for physical merch, and when merch, right? We decided to get that ignited with a digital merch experience. And so that was the seed and the birth of Firmamental. And yeah, you know, we wanted to bring something that is new, that hasn't been seen before in regards to digital wearables. And we came up with this idea that, you know, we wouldn't be where we are today without our ecosystem partners. And so we also decided to bring in, you know, the other brands that you've seen there that extend not only from Solana, but also to Ethereum.
I think we lost Pablo. Michael, please confirm. But
Sounds like it.
yeah,
Let's
Pablo
give
is
him a
driving
minute.
right now, so he may lose his connection. So yeah, he lost the connection. Okay, what do you think, Michael, if we keep moving? Let's cover
Sure.
another extra things, and then we can jump into the Q&A. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it's great, Santi. I'm sure Pablo will be back as soon as he can, but just to try to summarize the sentiment is that, you know, we believe in the future of digital identity and the way that we express ourselves in the metaverse through avatar customization. And this partnership with the Fabricant is an extension of an earlier partnership that we were able to execute on through the Rebirth campaign, right? One of the posters had Fabricant apparel affixed to it. And so this is kind of the next step of that. We thought it was some really cool stuff that can demonstrate and kind of capture the fact that you are an early supporter of Star Atlas. We're still in our earliest days, and owning one of these jackets or these robes or the scarf or the tags, you know, which are all accompanied by various benefits in the game as well. But it's also a signal to the rest of the world that you were here at the earliest days, because these are all going to be in pretty limited supply. I mean, they were designed to be in limited supply based on our current current community levels, but we know that in the future, when we reach tens of millions or billions of people around the world. You know, having a couple of thousand of these out there is a real signal to the community. So maybe before we move on, and just since it's related, I'll just touch on very quickly. Hey, welcome back.
I dropped off. I kept on rambling on my end.
I tried to summarize your sentiment, Pablo. If feel free to maybe continue on, because I was loving what I was hearing.
Well, just to bridge, I'm not sure where I dropped off, but just to bridge it, you know, we're working with all the companies that were part of the tags to bring some utility to the hold owners of those tags there. And we're also researching on how we can recreate the jacket in the physical world. So some exciting things that are going to come about from those who are holding these items. The future is ours. The future is digital, and we couldn't be more excited about the people who, you know, really took to the excitement with holding the digital wearables. But of course, you know, the physical merch is also going to be coming in the future. But it's been a great experience working with all the different partners on that drop.
Man, Pablo beat me to the alpha drop on the real merch, the physical merch coming.
Yeah, man, we love the alpha.
Yeah, and we'll be bringing some cool, you know, utility for those who have the digital version. You know, we're going to keep you in mind when we do the physical drops.
That's right.
Ooh.
Thank you, Pablo. Thank you. So, yeah, just kind of closing out the topic surrounding the Fabricant, these firmamental drops, is there was some confusion out there with wording. Obviously, everything that we're doing, guys, is truly in your best interest. We're not trying to misrepresent anything, but understand that we are also working with a global audience. And so we hear your feedback. We understand that there was some confusion in you know, all of these items and what the timelines were and the rarity of them were. And so we always try to take best steps to deliver the maximum value to you. These things are not even really about our revenue. These things are about the experiences that we're delivering to you in the run-up to the full game experience, the mini game experience, and what the metaverse will ultimately become. And so as a result, we just discussed internally, made the determination that we are in fact going to burn any of the items that are unsold at the end of the sale window, which is on the 26th. I don't have the exact time, but when you see the timers run out on those rare items, we'll also be burning any of the legendary items. And help me out, guys. What do we have? Legendary and...
Yeah, we have different tiers of rarity, but yeah, I think that the final decision was to burn everything like that is not sold. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right. So we essentially were running open edition items, which means it's uncapped supply, but limited time window. And then we were also running fixed supply quantity of items that were intended to go, you know, to stay on the market until they sold out. But those items now we're also running on the limited time window as well. And so anything that's not sold from Firmamental at the end of this weekend, everything is going to be burned. And so whatever quantities have been sold during that period, that will be the maximum quantity. You won't see us releasing these items again in the future. So hopefully everybody's happy about that. We think that that was kind of the big sticking point and where the most confusion existed. And so once again, trying to resolve these complications with the best intention for the community.
Okay, thank you, Michael. And another topic that people had a lot of questions is on the delisting of different assets, for example, pilots licenses. Can you give us a little bit extra clarification on that front?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these were, I've seen it as well. They were, this was a controversial issue. And so when we ran the Rebirth campaign, the Rebirth posters based on achieving a specific tier level was accompanied with a variety of rewards. And the two items of most interest right now were the captain's license and the pilot's license. Now, we never intended for these to be very expensive items, right? But we did drop all of these items as the rewards for the users of Rebirth, and we also had markets available for all of them. Now, we tried to communicate with everyone that they should withhold or restrict themselves from trading on secondary markets until we come to the public with transparent pricing around what these items should cost. We were kind of slow to the punch. We've got a lot going on. Obviously, a lot is in development, and we were not effective at restricting these markets initially, which led to speculation in what the price should be. As a result of that, and also as a result of some internal discussions about best method of execution for managing this licensing process going into the future, we made the determination that we should disable the captains and pilots license markets. I'll also kind of caveat here and say that we didn't intend to disable the viewing of these assets from your inventory. That was kind of an unfortunate side effect which led people to believe that the assets no longer exist. They do still exist. They are still in your inventory. Crypto, by its very nature, means that we don't have any ability to delete these assets from your inventory. They exist in your wallet, and those are self-sovereign assets. Nobody can touch those unless you allow them to. So it's just kind of a display or UI issue right now, is the reason why you can't see them in your inventory. Nevertheless, we are not completely deprecating the captains or license NFTs. We've simply modified what those are going to be. And so the end result, once again, I think you all are going to be quite happy about. The captain's licenses are going to convert into an exclusive anomaly-based crew member, and we'll reveal more information on what the naming of that crew member is, but it will be an exclusive crew member card. And the captain's licenses, there were only 72 of them out there that were delivered, and so those are going to turn into a 1 of 72 item that is a crew member, that is exclusive, that will never be replicated again in the future from us. And so you still have a crew member instead of a captain's license. And likewise on the pilot's license, we're doing the same thing. The pilot's license is in slightly higher quantity. I don't have the exact figure on that one right at the moment, but it's in the thousands. But nevertheless, in lieu of receiving a license, which was only intended to be in the $10 to $20 range, you're going to be getting an exclusive crew card member for those licenses. And that's why we disabled those markets. It was really intended to protect people from speculating on these assets, given that we understood what the underlying pricing should have been, but we were not able to communicate that to the public rapidly enough to prevent speculation on those markets. And so once again, we're trying to take action to remedy that and kind of, I guess I would say, compensate people for the speculative activity that did occur. So you're going to get, in place of a captain's license, you will get a captain anomaly-based crew card, and in place of the pilot's license, you'll actually get a legendary crew member that you'll be able to place in your ships over time. We've actually moved the licensing process so that it is not an NFT or tradable asset. It's actually going to be an account-specific asset that you can purchase, and more information will be revealed over time as to how you can participate in future events through seasons with the licensing itself. So once again, we're trying to take the community's best interest in mind in improving this process. I do hope that everyone out there understands that we are moving very, very fast. We're tackling a lot of different angles. We're trying to be as communicative as possible. And if call it mistakes happen like this one, we try to remedy it in the best interest of the broader community. So any other questions there, Santi?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt when you start leaking, man, So yeah, no extra questions on this side. Just I want to give some clarification on the OpenSea poster holders. If you have the posters in OpenSea, you will receive the rewards. Don't worry. The wormhole just announced its functionality a few days ago, and our engineer team is working on how we are going to execute this. but we will be posting a step-by-step guide in our announcement channel and everywhere when it's ready. So don't worry about that. That's something that I wanted to give some clarification. And also, Michael, I note that the team is working in the Star Atlas DAO. Can you give us some alpha there?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just to go, go back to the OpenSea question. Though, not only will everybody be eligible for their original rewards that were intended to be airdropped, and by the way, our engineering team is working through those updates from Wormhole now, and so we're hopeful that next week we'll have a resolution to this. But not only will they be eligible for their rebirth rewards, but people that were unable to participate in, say, the Apollo X IDO campaign or on Radium through the lottery system, we are going to be providing allocation to people based on what their allotted tickets would have been. So, you know, just kind of solidifying the idea here. We are trying to deliver fair value to everyone based on the way that things are progressing and evolving, which is extremely rapid. So hope that's helpful. In terms of
helpful.
Yeah, in terms of the DAO, this is a major priority for us right now. What's going to be upcoming, and we're really trying to take a step back from placing any dates on anything, because we are pioneering technology here. We're really operating at the fringe, and what that means is there's a lot of unknown variables that need to be solved for. And so despite our best intentions of delivering on specific timelines, these things can lead to scenarios where we don't meet those deadlines. And what we really want to deliver for you is not a subpar experience. We want to ensure that whatever product you are interacting with is not only functional and entertaining, but it is going to deliver the expected value that you would expect as a consumer. And so we're not holding anything back for any other reason, except that we don't feel that it's ready to be released to the public. And so, with that being said, you know, the DAO we expect to be released, you know, by the end of October. That could change, but the idea with the DAO is that you're going to be able to stake Polis. You're going to be able to earn emissions in Polis as a result. You're also going to be able to submit proposals to us. There's going to be a minimum staking requirement, but these proposals are things that we will consider internally as a team, as a development and design studio. And if they get the appropriate votes from the remainder of the community, then they are features or requests that we will actually integrate. I'll share one other thing here, and this is kind of town hall alpha.
Leak it.
Since you're all, you know, you're here listening in at whatever time of day or night it is for you, but there's a lot of demand out there to start accepting Atlas as the denomination or payment currency for NFTs coming from us in the future. Now, we were very strategic in the launch of assets with USDC to mitigate or minimize the amount of volatility that existed in the markets initially. Because we have very high capital requirements as a company, we knew it was important for us to kind of stock our treasury with USDC so that we could pay our operating costs over time. And so that's why we enforced USDC to start. However, we know that there's a lot of interest for Atlas in the purchase of NFTs. We suspect that one of the initial proposals across the DAO will be the enforcement of Atlas as the payment currency for NFTs, and that will be open for the public vote. And if you all decide that that's what you want to see going forward, then that's what we will implement. So I'll leave it at that for now, but expect the DAO, it's one of our highest priorities right now. Expect that to come out in the next couple of weeks.
Perfect. I don't think we have anything else to cover. So if you want, Michael, we can start taking questions live. For everyone out there, please feel free to raise your hand. We will start to let people in. And yeah, Michael, I don't know if you have any extra comments on anything or anything that you would like to clarify, or I don't know, whatever, before we start letting people in.
No, I think that, well, there was one other thing, and it was the Radium skin drop. And so for people that participated in the Radium campaign, it required that you staked a certain dollar value. I believe it was $1,000 for 10 days in one of the 4 Radium pools. You'll be airdropped a Radium skin. The engineering team is working on that. You guys can all expect that Radium skin to be dropped probably in the next 20 to call it 20 to 50 minutes. So
Yeah.
just look forward to that. We're not holding these back. We're reviewing the data and making sure that all of it is legitimate, and then we'll be distributing those skins out. So that was the last point. I would mention here, we have a guest, Milan, with Orca.
Yeah.
I respect his time. If there are any questions for Milan and Orca, I would love to prioritize those. So guys, maybe take your hands down for now, unless you have a question specifically for Orca, and then we'll get into the broader community questions.
Yeah, so only raise your hand if you have any questions for Orca. We will let you in right now. I think we have some hands raised. Apex, I invited you into stage. Welcome, Apex. How are you? I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great. Hey,
I think we can't hear you now. Michael, please confirm if you can hear him.
Nope, completely cut out.
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for doing this. Just a quick question. First of all, yeah, thank you very much. Super excited about this project. But my question is, I'm kind of new to staking and liquidity pools and everything. I'm just curious. I am staked right now in one of the Radium pools, and I'm just curious what is the benefit? What would be the benefit of moving my staking from, let's say, the Radium Ray Polis pool to, like, say, one of the Orca pools? What would be the benefit? Why would I want to do that versus just leaving it in the Radium pool?
Hey, thanks for the question. No, it definitely makes sense. I think there's pretty much 2 benefits to this. One is that on Radium, in order to earn dual rewards, so to earn Ray and Atlas tokens, you have to deposit into the Ray Atlas pool. So you have to be holding both Ray and Atlas. Whereas on Orca, it's an Atlas USDC and a Polis USDC pair. So you'll still earn Orca tokens as a dual reward, but you don't necessarily have to actually hold Orca tokens in order to earn those rewards. So I think that's one of the major benefits. I think the second one is that our emissions for Fall Festival, we're doing a Fall Festival right now, so we've pretty much doubled emissions across the board for the next 2 weeks. And this started yesterday, so it'll run till October 7th. So I'm not sure exactly what the rates on Radium are, but Orca, at least are compared to our usual rewards every week, they are double for this temporary period.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the question.
Thank you, Apex. Let's take one more. I will ask you again to only raise your hand if you have a question for Orca, and I will let you in. Okay, I invited Marin Daya into stage.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, and thank you so much. This is a great project we are all looking forward to. Now, for the Orca staking, now with Radium, unfortunately, as you know, there are a lot of restrictions for the US users and players. So is Orca open to US investors?
Yes, Orca is open to US.
Yeah, that's all. Well, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the question. So yeah, now we will move on to Star Atlas related questions. So Milan, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you a lot for your time and your great answers.
Awesome. Thank you a ton
Milan,
for
thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Yep, appreciate it. And I feel like I got a lot of Star Atlas Alpha today too. So thanks again.
Well, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like. But yeah, man, really appreciate the feedback, the comments, the information that you shared with the community.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, now I will start letting people in to if you now have any Star Atlas related question, I will let you in. please raise your hand. I invited Ava Raptor into the stage. Please join. You will have the option to join at the top of your screen.
Hey, Santi, I do have an obligation at the top of the hour as well, so I want to keep.
Okay.
We tend to get several questions. Guys, please, just out of respect for everyone else in the community, we're going to try to keep it to one question. So please just let us know whatever your best question is, and we'll respond to that one.
Welcome,
right,
Ava Raptor.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for holding the town hall meeting. I just had a quick question. By the way, you can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I noticed that on the Medium article, the Primordial Glow jacket has an attribute for social cohesion, increase your overall good fortune, and your luck. I was wondering if you could expand on those attributes, and are they specific to the jacket, or is that only dependent upon the tags that are on the jacket?
I would defer to Pablo on this one. I have to be honest with you. I wasn't really involved in the construction of that campaign. Pablo, are you still around?
Yep, still here. So this is in reference to the jacket, and you know the tags is the initial wave, but we're also going to have a second wave of more tags. So kind of think about it. In the U.S., there's like Boy Scouts, or in military, you earn badges. And so as we continue to progress and solidify various utility activities, when you're holding these tags, it's going to amplify different aspects to that jacket holder. Just to kind of bring to light, this jacket is to be used, with your avatar if you're going to go see a concert or something like that. And similar to the Rebirth poster utility, can get you backstage or VIP access to real world concerts. In this case, this digital jacket for your avatar, might get you into speakeasies and or, various experiences that otherwise, if you're not holding it, you wouldn't have access to. Thanks for the question.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. I don't know if anyone has any extra comments, but I will let someone else into stage.
No, I think that was great.
Okay, I invited Anthony into stage. Anthony.
Hello,
Hello,
can you hear
Anthony.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you, man?
Very good. Very, very excited by this project. Been following it since the early days. Just a very quick question in the interest of time. Michael, do you have an update on the mini game progress, launch date, and marketing plans, please?
Yeah, we do. Again, we're trying to kind of step away from providing any type of target date. Just to be clear, any dates that we released in the past, they were target dates. They were objective or goal dates that we wanted to deliver content to the community at. But again, there's a lot of variables behind the scene, and the most important thing for us is delivering the optimal experience. And so with that being said, in full understanding of that, we are hoping to have the initial minigame features out within the month of October. That would be the first opportunity to be able to generate yield off of your ship assets. More to come on that. I don't want to reveal anything else related to the specific gameplay mechanics, but we've gone through and kind of reformatted our entire roadmap over the course of this week, which is one of the reasons why we've been a bit less active on things like asset sales and various drops across the marketplace. You'll see more of those coming in the future, but yeah, just expect to be able to deploy your ships in the not too distant future.
Got it. Thank you very much indeed.
Great. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. Okay, I will let someone else in. Okay, let me check the list. Valhalla Unlimited.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Pleasure to talk to all of you guys. Been following you for a while. You do a phenomenal job as far as creating the game and bringing the economy into it, which I really appreciate. The question is in regards to the crew outfits that you have. In the long term, I think that's going to be a lot of utility for the game. But is that are those outfits that you just put on your avatar, or is it for any other member in your crew if you have like a larger ship, that type of thing?
Yeah, I once again, I would kind of defer to Pablo on this one, but just at a high level, you can think of kind of your presence in the metaverse being driven through a single avatar, right? So your character that you're creating and customizing over time and developing and progressing with over time. So the apparel that you purchased, if you're referring to Firmamental, is largely intended to be worn by your character. The rest of your crew members are also capable of leveling up over time, but it's less important for them to be outfitted with something that's, say, attractive, right?
Okay.
It's kind of a representation of yourself across the metaverse.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting a budget for crew member uniforms, but maybe it's more focused on my uniform.
That might be something that occurs in the future. I would kind of discourage you from purchasing apparel or cosmetic items for your crew members at this time, because it's not something that we've put a ton of thought or strategy into yet. So I would stay tuned on that one and maybe focus on your own personal character customization.
Perfect. Thanks. Look forward to doing it.
Awesome. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for the question, Valhalla. We also have Ivy JD here on stage. Ivy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Thanks very much for having me up, guys. Just tremendous growth since the first couple of these a short while ago. Michael, I wanted to ask you a question related to building out tools on top of the Star Atlas sort of framework. So we at SAIA DAO had built a new exchange, StarAtlas.exchange. We just launched it. And it's an unofficial exchange, right? It's just a skin over Serum. And so just was kind of curious your thoughts in terms of building some of these tools that sit on some of these open source platforms. They're not officially Star Atlas, and so they're unofficial. And so how do we think about getting those things confirmed, considering some of the scams and so forth? There's a high degree of concern about sort of like unofficial or, non-Star Atlas built tools. If we're going to build tools on top of the game, but they're not officially yours, how do they get confirmed so that they're not viewed as being scams and so forth? Just kind of curious your thoughts on like process to get that done.
Yeah, so I really appreciate the question, and also really appreciate your effort in developing out the broader ecosystem. I think it's one of the greatest advantages to developing within the decentralized economy and blockchain ecosystem itself is that there are very few restrictions and requirements to negotiate commercial terms. We're, I would say, largely happy to enable that process, and we're not going to be filing like a cease and desist since you're using the Star Atlas likeness in the exchange. We don't have a formal process right now, and I'm glad you bring up the scam component, because once again, everyone out there are so many scams going on in the community right now. It's a result of our success. Everybody sees an opportunity to take advantage of new people to the crypto ecosystem. So please, we will never ask you for funds directly. We're not going to message you directly. If there's any question whatsoever, reach out through our formal channels. And if you see something that sounds too good to be true, or seems like an opportunity that seems too good to be true, do not link your wallet, do not connect with that, and do not participate unless you connect with somebody directly through our public channel. But with that being said, we don't have a formal process, but please, we can establish lines of communication with you. Once we can validate the legitimacy of your project, then we're happy to kind of communicate that with the rest of the public, and happy to co-develop out the community growth across StarAtlas.exchange alongside what we're doing internally. But I think once again, just to reiterate, I think it's one of the hugest benefits of operating in the decentralized economy is that there will be many teams, many projects, many innovators that are building products that directly benefit the Star Atlas ecosystem, for which we don't need to be directly involved. And that is going to contribute a significant amount of value over time. So I appreciate your effort. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think we'll reach out and we'll try to figure out the best way to start this process, and maybe we can make it scalable so that we can do it for lots of other projects too.
Yeah, I like that. You know, Pablo does lead up the business development and strategic partnership team. So you can reach out to me directly, or you can reach out to Pablo, and we'll get we'll get the communication started.
Cool. Thanks very much. Take care, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, JD, for the question. We also have Metaverse Explorer here on stage. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much. Mic test.
We can hear you.
We can hear
Awesome. Thank you for inviting me. I have two questions, please. One for Milan and one for the Star Atlas team. So Milan, Orca does have collectibles. They have their own NFT ecosystem as well. And these are just little like whales and little nice looking NFTs. Can you confirm or deny that there might be some Star Atlas related collectibles coming for participating in the actual ecosystem of Orca?
Hey, thanks for the question. We do have some collectibles, and we will be doing our additional collectible drops on our end in the future, but no comment on kind of collaborations yet.
Okay, thank you. And my next question is for the Star Atlas team. So, as a gamer, reading the jackets and the benefits it gives you, one thing that screams at me was the primordial glow increases your overall good fortune in the metaverse. To me, this screams out like a luck statistic. Is there a luck statistic, and how do you guys actually program this on chain? How does that? I don't know the specifics, but can it actually be programmed a luck to increase your overall good fortune?
Yeah, I mean, you're interpreting correctly. I mean, it's also referred to as RNG, or random number generator, but that is kind of a statistical measure of your probability of receiving a certain reward or benefits to your character. And so, yes, the idea is that that's going to improve some of the underlying statistical formulas for your chance of success or luck. We don't have those ironed out yet, so I can't give you anything more definitive than that. A lot of this is still work in progress, and I think what we've demonstrated is that our intentions with the community are really in the best of intentions, and so I can't share anything else right now, but you're interpreting it correctly.
Of course, thank you very much. I did understand that. Yeah, everything is a work in progress, but now I understand there is a luck statistic. Thank you very much.
That's right. Yeah, thank you for the question, Santi. Let's take one more because I do have to hop here pretty soon.
Okay, let's take one more. I invited 2 people but didn't join, so I will invite one extra. Okay, now everyone joined. So okay, let's take only one. Let's take Gabriel Duarte. Please ask your question.
Hi everyone, just from Brazil. Congratulations to let everybody in the world dreaming for this metaverse. Michael, my biggest question right now is about the delegations of NFTs. Brazil, like a third world country and developing country, we have too much people wanting playing the game, but not so much people having money to have Greeka or a capital shape or maybe a commander, So I'm in between investors and players. And how can we expect to use, like to lend or to some kind of delegate the ship in a point of view of investor? Like in the beginning, in the mini game, or after 1 year, what can I expect about it?
Well, first of all, tamo junto. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Tamo junto. People in Brazil love it when you wrote that in Twitter.
So welcome, and we love the support that we're seeing out of Brazil. We just reviewed on a call earlier today some of the underlying metrics of the Brazilian, of demographics that are visiting the site, and you might be happy to hear that Brazil itself is the most trafficked demographic to both the Star Atlas portal as well as to the Star Atlas website. So you guys are
Michael, can you
certainly,
let me interrupt you here a little bit?
please,
I just
sure.
want to give a shout out to every single Brazilian moderator that is helping out there. The growth has been insane. I have some names here: Gabriel, Leandro, Felipe, Honorio, Fernando. So thank you everyone for helping, and also to the moderators of every single community. I don't want to keep it really long, but as the Brazilian community was the one that grew the most in the past days, I wanted to give a huge shout out to them.
Yeah, we love it. We love seeing the support, and we think what we're developing is really intended to empower people from all over the world, in particular emerging markets. And I've talked quite a bit about the potential of the metaverse to create the largest labor market economy the world's ever seen. And so you're very much in our thoughts, and what we're developing is intended to enable and empower communities from all over the world to be able to grow and build wealth for themselves, and really going as far as building generational wealth that can be passed down over time. So with that being said, and I'm going to try to summarize quickly here, I do have to go, but the larger assets in the game are intended to be aspirational. So we never intended for Star Atlas to be developed such that every single person could own every single asset, especially the very expensive, very rare items. What we really see is the ability to cultivate a community environment wherein collectivism and collaboration is necessary and important. And so while we don't have the infrastructure in place yet, what we are working on is infrastructure that would allow any community all over the world to formulate a DAO, create governance systems, and also manage collectively their own treasury, which means that they could purchase these more expensive assets and determine how best to use them or deploy them within the game efficiently to maximize returns across the entire community. So we are working on that. With that in mind, for the interim, or in the interim, I hope that you guys are able to kind of formulate amongst yourselves ways to deploy capital, to pool capital and purchase these assets and use those. I'm not sure if that totally answered your question, but it is our intention to deliver this tool set that empowers you to be able to work collectively with the rest of the community to purchase the bigger assets. But at the same time, we do have an inclusive NFT marketplace that allows for the purchase of everything from a $15 or $20 ship all the way up to multi-million-dollar ship.
But like you said, I'm doped because in like 20 days we have 2,800 people in Brazilian Star Atlas Guild Alliance. So we are already managing there, putting together the community and buying ships to become a regional DAO for Brazilians, like to have Brazilians in the metaverse, some kind of idea like that, an alliance of Brazilians. So I imagine a lot of people like in Philippines and other places are doing the same. One way you can think about it is like a idea. If in the beginning it isn't ready to do that, like to use all the fleet for the DAO, for the regional DAO, maybe we can stake some of the ships like we are staking polis. Because when we invest in a ship like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, like it's a big investment in the game for countries like us. It's a lot of money for Brazil or Philippines or much any other country outside the US, maybe Europe or Japan.
No, totally understood. So just to be clear, our highest priorities right now are to enable the Star Atlas DAO so that Polis staking becomes a reality, so that emissions in Polis become a reality, so that people can also contribute their thoughts through the proposal mechanism. But secondary to that, or not even secondary, actually probably the highest priority is to ensure that the assets that you've purchased today are able to generate returns for you, generate income for you. So this is top of mind. What we want to enable is your ability to take the assets that you own now and start to generate revenue off of it based on some gameplay interactivity. And please believe me that we are working on getting that out as soon as possible. as soon as possible. So ensuring that you make money and also ensuring that you have a voice through governance are what we're focused on almost exclusively right now. So I hope that helps.
Thank you very much, Michael, and all the team. You are making a lot of people dream all over the world.
Well, it's a dream for us, and in so many ways, I can't believe that we're in the position that we're in, but it's amazing to be able to touch so many people from all over the world, and it's not going to just be a dream. This is going to be a reality. I have absolute confidence in that. I feel really good about it, and I hope that what we're doing is able to benefit you in even the slightest way. So thank you for all the support. Really appreciate all of the communities out there from all over the world that are pulling together, that are contributing thoughts, ideas, obviously spending money with us, but also just believing in us and dreaming amongst yourselves. So it's sincerely appreciated.
All right.
So,
thank you,
yeah,
Gabriel, for the Daniel for the question. And yeah, Michael, I know that you have to go. Any closing thoughts?
No, I mean, it's, I hope you guys all know we are, I have to thank the team, as I always do. Some of the people that you're seeing up here on stage, but everyone across the team, across every department is truly fully dedicated to this, and they're very passionate individuals. And our team itself consists of people that live all over the world. The 100+ people that we have working with us today, which is going to grow substantially over time, across 15 different countries. I just have to thank all of those people, because they're all putting in so many hours every day to try to fulfill this vision and develop the product and deliver the value that you all are expecting from us. And we will. I have absolute confidence that we will. So, for anyone out there that's in the team that's listening in right now, your contribution, your dedication, your effort is seriously appreciated. The community, of course, we love you guys. We couldn't be doing this without you. And so it's great to hear that you appreciate the vision, that we're inspiring people all over the world. We're going to continue to inspire people all over the world, and just thank you for all of your assistance in the community, helping other people, bringing new people in, educating people, because what we're doing is truly pioneering, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, but also just a lack of information out there, and there's a lot of complexity to what we're doing. And so we appreciate everyone out there that's supporting us in any way, and helping bring new people into this ecosystem. So thank you, everyone. Really appreciate the time, and hopefully this helped clarify some of the issues that were outstanding, but looking forward to the next couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah, nothing to add there, Michael. Thank you very much. And before we close, power to the people.
And stick it to the man.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining today.